TitleMatchNetwork.com.
I started taking steroids in 19. I started wrestling about 1968, and I was one of the pioneers using steroids. A friend of mine was a bouncer in Phoenix. All of us, the guys were bouncers, weightlifters, football players. A friend of mine came in as an All-American from Arizona State University. He says, Wayne, man, steroids, dude, this little Dianabol, little blue pills, what are you talking about? I didn't even know about it. He said, yeah, man, steroids, I've gained like 20, 25 pounds muscle. He became an All-American linebacker, my friend, and then went on to become an All-Pro linebacker. So here is a college All-American in 1968 telling me about steroids. So think about the complexity of that with sports and college athletes. We have to go all the way back to 68. And so he introduced me to steroids, and lo and behold, this is an awesome deal. Steroids, man, they were good. Get strong, make you a little more aggressive, which testosterone makes you aggressive anyway. Women are more passive because they don't have any testosterone. So it was a real good thing. Strong, made you recover faster after workouts, and lo and behold, a college kid told me about steroids. It's amazing,
Wow. Do you think steroids are more dangerous today or back then?
Actually, steroids could be dangerous at any time. They were dangerous to me only because I abused steroids. I took heavy doses over a prolonged length of time. I'm talking about from 1968 when I met Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1969. From there on out, there was no such thing as cycling or going off, or it was just like take steroids. And so if you took them correctly and weaned yourself off and gave yourself down times away from steroids, it didn't take huge amounts. They were very beneficial. But I didn't subscribe to that point of view. I just, more was better. Everything, that was the philosophy. Everything more is better. And so, but steroids by themselves is a wonderful thing. My mother was prescribed steroids, 1968, after a hospital stay. The doctor gave her steroids. She had to recuperate after the surgery, lost about 25 pounds, took steroids, Dianabol for 30 days, gained about 15 pounds back, healthy. So they're good things, good stuff. My body didn't start broken down until after that karate run and all the prolonged use of steroids started doing a lot of damage to my hips and my ankles and my back. And so it was after that the years of steroid use started catching up with me physically.
By this time, how bad was your life outside of wrestling with like drugs and your marriage?
Marriage was always good because my wife had committed herself to me, and so the marriage was fine. But the health falling apart, that was tough, And the steroids, of course, had caused the hips to go on me, caused my lower spine to go. I've lost probably almost 4 inches in height because I have what's called a collapsing spine. And what happens when you take steroids for a long period of time, they shut the blood supply off to the joint. So the joint doesn't get any blood. If you don't get any blood, you don't heal. And so no blood to the hip joint. The hip joint decays. Cartilage gone, bone on bone. So they got to pull all that out and replace it because too many steroids for too long shuts off the blood supply. Mm-hmm. And so the doctors call it the death of a bone. And it is painful, man. And so I had the hips go out of me, the hip go out of me again, the other side. My back is collapsing, my spine is collapsing, my ankles collapsing. I had to get it fused. I lost like 4 inches in height. The bone, it's all from steroid use, side effects from steroids, see? And so I paid a big price,
How did you wind up leaving this time around? Was it just your health?
What?
That when you left the commentary and left the WWF again?
Yeah, yeah, it was hard traveling. I enjoyed that commentary period, but the traveling was hard, man. The ankles were killing me. And many times when I would fly across the country, living in Burbank, LA at the time, back to Boston to commentate, stuff like that. When I get off the airplane, man, walking from the plane to the baggage claim was so far from me that I would stop and go in the men's bathroom just to sit down on a commode, to sit there for like 10 minutes to rest my back and then find some else place to sit down. So it was killing me, man. I couldn't, and so Vince said, listen, your health. I said, yeah, I know my health. I can't do it. I can't travel anymore. So
It was a mutual thing.
Yeah.
What happened when the doctor prescribed you steroids in 1975 for your injury?
What happened when?
In 1975, you were prescribed steroids for your injury?
For injury, 75. I don't think I was ever prescribed steroids for injury.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. No.
I
just took them.
Right. You never prescribed them ever?
Oh, I'd taken prescribed steroids, yeah.
Right, but not them.
But not for injury.
Okay.
No.
Do you think it'd be good for WWE to bring someone like you in and talk about your abuse to the locker room or something like that?
Oh,
Like a
people have mentioned that, but I don't think so because the boys are so individualistic, and who is anyone to come in and tell them what to do or suggest? Because that if you receive that shows that you're weak. See what I mean? If you're psychologically weak, if you have a psychiatrist come in and counsel you, or someone can come in and try to convince you not to do your drugs and stuff, you're sitting there with that shows weakness on your part. You know what I mean? And I don't think it would do any good. Just like it's not going to do any good. Mark Merrill, and I support what he's doing, going to schools now and about the anti-steroids stuff like
he's just trying to get his name out there?
Oh no! I think he's sincere.
He's sincere.
Yeah, I think he's sincere, legit. Yeah. Because he just sent me a email with some photos. He went to Melbourne High School in Florida, mm-hmm. And the football team were there all around him and talking about don't use steroids, stuff like that. So I believe he's very sincere. But I don't think it's.
How do you think the business will change if Congress does get involved? Do you think anything's happening like smaller guys on TV? Or?
Well, first of all, the guys don't need to take sauce. They don't need to take steroids. I still would have been basically a star and a draw without the physique because you got the promo, charisma, entertainment. You know what I mean? You don't have to take sauce. You don't have to look like Bobby Lashley. Look at Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Here's your example of Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Guy's 58, man, charisma on fire. His physique doesn't draw the charisma, so they can do without it.
Right.
See what I mean?
There was something going on with you in the Arizona Museum. They didn't have a wheelchair access.
Yes, I'm suing them currently.
Yeah. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. I went in with basically a task chair, a secretary's chair with capsules on the bottom, to see Rembrandt, the exhibition of Rembrandt, and I couldn't because I can't stand rather. So and I can't fit in a wheelchair. So I just brought my own chair, and the museum turned me away because they felt that it didn't conform to their standards. And so it was a big deal. They called 7 security guys. The whole deal all blew up, and they would refuse me entrance. So I went to the Arizona Attorney General's office, told them about the discrimination, and they have now created an investigation. And the investigation will soon turn into a lawsuit. While I'm here in New York at Scott's Convention, we'll be going to the Brooklyn Museum of Art, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, document my interest in these museums, which I'm documenting my interest to other museums in Phoenix, and building the case that all these museums are, in fact, letting me in with my special needs chair.
Right.
See? And all it is a task chair, a secretary's chair, that I can sit down because I can't stand and look at art for hours. I have to sit because my back is blown out. So they made a huge mistake by denying me entrance.
So the case is still pending.
Civil rights violation.
Right.
TitleMatchNetwork.com